In 3, 2, 1, hello, my dear sweet little chickadees. It is me, Cole, the resident astrologer of Smudge Wellness, and I am here today to bring you the horoscope for the month of March 2022. I'm really excited about all the energy there because it's this really nice combination of Piscean and Aquarian energy, which really allows us to start, asking ourselves, okay, how can I take all of this intuitive, creative, and spiritual energy and use it, right, for the greater good, right? Thinking about the balance between Pisces, which is super spacey and dreamy and waspy and all of those things, and Aquarius, which is like, okay, let's be a little bit more practical, right? Let's communicate, but let's also have this rebellion humanitarian spirit. So March has this really nice tone for both of those concepts. So now let's think about how can we bring them together. But without further ado, let's dive right into it and get into the horoscope for March. On March 2nd, we have the new moon in Pisces sextiling Uranus. This is amazing because a Pisces moon is a very intuitive, dreamy moon. And the fact that it's a new moon, it's really saying, hello, use your dreams, aspirations, and creativity to manifest the next step that you want. But because we have this sextile to Uranus, we're getting this extra push, right? Not only of this rebellious innovation, but also that sense of practicality that comes because Uranus is in Taurus. So it's a really nice combination of saying, let's fucking do something exciting and big, but let's make sure that there's a nice sense of practicality with it too. On March 6th, both Mars and Venus move into Aquarius. Now, we have had Venus in Capricorn for a while, so getting this sort of push, right? Getting out of this Capricornian energy, which is really strong, really stable, really, in a lot of ways, hard on us sometimes, allows us, right, as we enter into this Aquarian sort of vibe with Venus and with Mars, our relationships, our action, it's going to feel a little bit more free-flowing, right? A little bit more rebellious, a little bit like, okay, cool. I've taken the time to stabilize myself and figure out what I value. Now, can I put a little twist on it, right? Can I put a little spin on it? It's going to feel a lot. Let's get into it. On the 9th, Mercury ingresses into Pisces. That means Mercury moves into Pisces. And oh my gosh, I love Mercury and Pisces energy. I tell anyone in my reading who has a natal Mercury in Pisces, enjoy the daydreams, right? And that's what this energy has, right? It wants us to enjoy the daydreams. It wants us to have lofty thoughts. It wants us to be visionary. It wants us to take those opportunities to say, I'm just going to drift away for a little bit, but also speak, communicate, and think more empathetically, right, and more service-driven. This is really beautiful transit because it's going to allow us to use our words in a much more helpful and a much more universal way. On March 18th, we have a full moon in Virgo. It is time to cleanse, purge, let go of, get rid of all of that shit that is like not good for us, right? I mean, we love full moons because it's all about cleansing the shit that we want to let go of. But because we have this Virgo tone, right, it's really saying, what are the impurities tainting my life, right? And what are the things that are stopping me from feeling as though I have a sense of control, that I have a good routine, that I have a good structure on my life. So now we're getting this opportunity towards the middle of the month to say, okay, let me just, clean slate, wash that shit all off of me. Get out of here. I don't want it anymore. On March 20th, it is Aries season. Aries season, baby. I love Aries season. The sun is exalted in Aries. It is just this bright, exciting, beautiful, warm sort of, it's just like, I think of like the Nike, slogan, just do it. That's what Aries season feels like. It's like, just do it, right? It is the new astrological beginning to the calendar because of the spring equinox. So it really is saying, how can we now use, right, the radiant energy above us, right? The sun's rays shining down on us, Aries energy, to say, how can I be more ambitious, be more dynamic, be a little bit more carefree, and really embrace that childlike awe and wonder and adventurous spirit. And on the 27th, we have Mercury ingressing into Aries. I know Mercury in Pisces seems like it was super quick, super not there for a lot of time, but that's okay because Mercury in Pisces, right, it's super reflective, right, really empathetic. So now we can take all of these nice service-oriented vibes and towards the end of the month, insert them, right, and really push them towards this more adventurous, dynamic, spontaneous, right? Really, really childlike awe and wonder communication style, right? A lot of ambition, right? Mercury is how we think, it's how we communicate, it's how we really, really find ourselves getting interested in things. So Mercury in Aries now allows us to say, okay, I can do it, right? I'm allowed to have this validity. I'm allowed to hear my voice. I'm allowed to speak up. I'm allowed to do the things that I've been wanting to do and take advantage of them. So I'm really excited with all of the energy that's going on in March, that we end off with this nice sort of like Aryan energy, which is like, okay, work. Now I have the power. Something else I want to think about is that Mercury is going to be making a lot of interactions to a lot of the outer planets during this month, right? Saturn, it's going to be making interactions to Jupiter. It's going to be making interactions to Neptune, right? It's going to be making sextiles to Uranus. It's going to be making conjunctions to Pluto, right? There's a lot. Mercury's hitting, right? And making a lot of aspects. So we really want to be conscious and cognizant of not only our communication, our speech patterns, right? And the way that we're thinking about things, right? But also, how are we allowing ourselves to be more open-minded with our communication, right? How are we allowing ourselves to be more innovative with our communication and our intellect? How are we finding ourselves slowly, potentially gravitating towards new interests, new hobbies, anything like that? There's a lot of interactions happening between Mercury, right, and a lot of these outer planets. So I want us to really focus our lens, if we can, on that Mercury perspective. Now that we've talked about all of the transits, let's get into a sign-by-sign horoscope. Make sure to look at your sun, your moon, and your rising sign. Starting off with Aries, there's all of this beautiful 12th house, right, Piscean energy going on during the month of March, right before we get into Aries season. So thinking about self-care, right, self-gratitude, giving yourself nice little affirmations, but also thinking about that inner sort of soul journey, right? What do you feel drawn to and connected to and called to, so that you can really go for it once we hit Aries season. Tauruses, right? There's this beautiful, right, Uranian energy, right, with Uranus in Taurus, that's getting a lot of aspects, right, and a lot of hits to it during the month of March. So you really need to think about, okay, especially in terms of, right, my rebellion, right, my humanitarian efforts, my society, my community, how can I be more active in those areas, right? How can I really start to push to be a leader, right? Really push to be someone who's innovating my life and helping innovate the lives of others around me. Gemini, March feels like a good month for career for Gemini, right? It really has, because when we think about especially Gemini risings with the Pisces at the 10th house, hello, all of that 10th house energy, all of that creative influx of just like, let's lean into it, right? Where do we want to see your career go? Where do we want to see, right, the manifestation of the next step professionally, right? Can you be, and are you ready to take on the call to be a leader in your life, whether it is professionally or just socially? A lot of nice social reputation and career energy going on for you. Cancers, I want you to really, really lean into that inner sense of adventure. I know that Cancers are homebodies, right? But I know that Cancers are always just a little bit like, what else is out there, right? Can I tiptoe, right, like a crab, like scuttles all the way out around the beach, but then always finds its way back home, right? Thinking about that mentality for Cancers right now is, how can I start to push myself to scuttle like a crab all the way out there, but then find my way back home? For Leos, I want to think about your really intimate relationships that you have, right? How are you creating more vulnerability in your life? How are you allowing other people to see the deep, dark, ooky, spooky parts of Leo, which we know are there, right? And which we know you just want to release. So really allowing yourself some extra time to sit and to reflect and really enjoy all of that energy. Virgos, my Virgo babies, focus on your relationships, right? Your platonic, your intimate, romantic, anything like that, business relationships. How are you fostering them, right? How are you being more transparent through communication? How are you allowing yourself to also listen, right, to what other people are telling you, whether they're verbal or nonverbal cues, right? Any of that indication. Really, really focus on your relationships and fostering a sense of unity with them. Libras, what's going on in your life, right? Do you feel like a little bit chaotic right now? Do you feel as though your routine might be a little bit stagnant, right? Or you might be feeling as though your routine is really, really good, right? And really, really vibey. I want you to focus on your day-to-day life, right? All of those little like micro actions that you make, as simple as waking up at a certain time every day, right? Or as simple as doing your skincare routine. I want March as well, similar to Aries energy, to be a lot of the self-care, but more focused on a little bit of a regimen within it. Scorpios. Why don't we start a new relationship, right? Something romantic, or start a new creative project during March, right? Allow yourself to, again, lean into this energy that is going to allow you, right, to really express yourself, whether it is romantically or whether it is creatively. Sagittarius, what is going on in terms of the relationships with your home, right? Not just with the people who might live there or your family, right? The communication styles between all those people, right? Are all the things that you're saying and all the things that we're thinking, are those aligned? Do we feel good about those? But additionally, right, what is your relationship to your physical space, right? Are you feeling good? Are you feeling content? Do you feel like you want to shake things up? Is it time to redecorate? Anything like that. Really allow yourself to say, okay, what is happening physically right here, right? And what is happening in terms of new opportunities for that home space to become a little bit more secure for you. Capricorn, we have just spent so much time with so many planets in your sign, right? And now we are shifting into a little bit of a new era, so to say. What have you learned during all of this really heavy, really intense Capricornian season, right? What have you learned, and how are you sharing that with other people, right? Thinking about, okay, I, as a Capricorn and someone with Capricorn energy, has had so much planetary energy in my sign over the past couple of months that now I get the opportunity to say, hey, I've been the one who's been experiencing a lot of this. Let me share that learning with other people to help provide more security, more stability for them. Aquariuses, how do you want to make your money? No, literally, how do you want to make your money? What do you value? What are the things that you want? What do you want to just grab, right, and take into your life, right, and see that come to fruition? This is the time to really start planting those seeds to say, this is what I deserve, right? This is what I want. This is how I want to see it happen. March is going to be a good money month for you, right? If you put forth the work and you put forth the effort. And last but not least, my lovely little Pisces babies, I want you to think about any relationship you have, right? I'm thinking in particular the full moon for you, right? That Virgo full moon. Your relationships that might be holding you back, right? Or limiting your identity, and how can you say, oof, getting that out of here, because I want you to focus on you, right? I want you to focus on what you want, who you are, what your voice is, how you want to look, how you want to act, how you want people to perceive you, because you, at the end of the day, are in control of all of those things. So the month of March is your time to shine, baby. And with all of that being said, my dear sweet little chickadees, thank you so much for watching this video. If you want more content on astrology, on tarot, on spiritual wellness, on crystals, anything like that, make sure to check out Smudge Wellness on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. And we would love to have you join our little community. I'm sending you all so much love.